Okay.
All right.
So I have a question.
What is your question?
How many of them, if they're worried about footsteps, attract, like the density of those creatures has to be nuts because they're in the woods,
right,
in the middle of nowhere, and they have to be quiet all the time. You'd think like, that's a lot of them to be like one per every 300 yards. That's a shitload of aliens.
Well, yeah, and he only had discovered 3 of them, allegedly.
But why would you live near the 3 of them?
You could move a little bit to the left.
Figure out what their range is and then go outside that.
Why didn't they just set up a house by the waterfall?
Why didn't they just have music playing all the time?
Live
like
on the
in
beach.
a field somewhere.
Like a recording of a waterfall just on their roof.
Yeah, live on the beach, and then there's only so many ways they can be coming from.
Or right next to a cave where water's going in. It makes the big booms and stuff. Yeah.
Under a waterfall.
My God. Well, why can we survive apocalypses better than screenwriters?
Well.
My God.
Well, so John Krasinski did part of the writing.
Oh.
And he directed. And he starred.
Yeah.
Wow.
He starred,
he did
directed.
a lot.
They made some money.
Yeah. No, I mean, this movie was a freaking
it was a hit.
thing. It was a thing, yeah.
17 mil budget, and they made 341 mil.
Everyone was just excited because John Krasinski wasn't in a comedy or like some stupid like...
Yeah, and he was in 30 Hours.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever, and that was neat to see him in like a serious role.
Yeah, because that was the whole Benghazi thing, right? And he was like, I'm John Krasinski. I grew a beard for this.
He gets off a helicopter, and I'm like, oh, what range this actor has.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then he played Jack
Damn,
Ryan,
fuck him too.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he got cut for that.
What a hot piece of ass.
Honka. I want to squeeze of the butter chica. Gorlame.
He couldn't keep it in his pants in this movie either.
Oh my God.
Jeez, John. Keep it in your pants.
At that
bud.
point, it is responsible for a man to cut his sack off. There is no
Just
more
get rid of
kids.
it.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Self-vasectomy.
it was like he was trying to contact other people and studying the monsters almost.
Yeah.
How did he even have time to impregnate his wife?
Like it seemed like in this whole movie they had one scene together and they danced. Like you telling me you're popping out another kid after your other kid died from brutal monster death?
Yeah,
how
do you get intimate after that?
Well,
Like,
she might have already been pregnant.
It's like, hey baby, I know our kid died, but you're looking hot tonight. You want to make another one?
Gee whiz. So we did A Quiet Place.
You're just like...
He just goes...
It's so lewd.
He just holds up 9 months. We have 9 months to prepare. Yeah, so as Michael said, we did A Quiet Place.
It's just struggling over here.
Oh my God. Yes. So Michael, you said this was what, your first time seeing this all the way through?
Yeah. I'd never seen it. And
What'd you think? What'd you think?
my life would be the exact same if I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
So.
that's fair. That's fair.
It did get a lot lot
yeah,
got
when it
people-
first came out,
quite a bit of hype.
Yeah.
People really were into it. We
Yeah.
watched it pretty much when it came out. And I thought it was a good movie. We watched it a few times after that.
Yeah.
And, it holds up as being a decent story, and at least it's something different.
Right.
The CGI monsters don't look too goofy. Like
Yeah.
No, they
look
look fine.
good enough.
Yeah.
It's just a little weird. It was different concept, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, ugh, the kid's making all the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Oh, the other
you
kid.
still got to write horror movie
Oh, the
tropes.
kid's
Yeah.
mad at his dad.
Yeah.
She's mad at her dad. Or so there's a lot of that kind of stuff in it. But
Mm.
the sound, the monsters being attracted to sound was kind of neat.
Yeah.
It also, I think, came out after the Bird Box movie.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, where they
Where-
take away the sight.
Yeah,
Because you can't
like,
look at it or something,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
I think that one came out first.
Mhm.
And
Because
everybody,
that was like the big Netflix fucking thing.
yeah,
Mhm.
everyone went crazy for that one too.
Yeah.
So I feel
don't
like
know
it
how
was,
they roped in Sandra Bullock to be in that piece of shit.
Well, I don't know.
But,
Neat movie. Wasn't
yeah, again,
whatever.
cool concept, terrible execution.
We got to see a decent bit of the monster. Like,
Yeah.
it was on
Well,
screen.
I like that they did it like the Jaws way, where it's like they slowly showed you the monster. Like,
Yeah,
you just kind of
he's-
saw him in passing.
One of my least favorite things is like, oh, well, people complain monsters never have a lot of screen time, so they just like put him in the background somewhere, and he's
Yeah.
just like walking. It's like, why did we spend 8 seconds watching him walk around? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't the screen time for the monster that I wanted.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
either show me him destroying
Right.
shit or don't show me the monster at all.
He's like taking a dump. It's like, I don't need to watch him go to the bathroom.
a lot of times they do show the creatures too much, and then you get used to it, and then they're not scary
and then
anymore.
it's just too much.
Yeah.
One thing, just at the start, because I'd never seen it. I mean, I understand, I knew what the concept was, but it adds a layer of difficulty to the zombie post-apocalyptic horror survival film genre.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, it's a little harder for them to survive because they can't make any noise.
Yeah.
When other movies, it's like they're just looking for you, and if they see you, they'll eat you.
Yeah.
So that was
It's
kinda
hard to
neat.
survive because there's zombies out.
Right?
Fuck.
There's zombies out here. It's like, oh, there's zombies and we can't talk.
Yeah.
So it's like just a little level of difficulty.
Yeah, and you kind of assume by the fact that you barely see anybody
Right.
else that pretty much everyone died.
Yeah, those three can eat.
Yeah, they're hungry boys.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if they're gonna, continue to survive, they're gonna have to keep eating. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm kind of interested about with this like new one coming out, to just see like what the scope of it is,
They're
like
probably
what
gonna-
the scale is.
Yeah.
Because like I mean we haven't seen the second one yet, but apparently it's a continuation from the first one. So like
Right.
I'm assuming it's just building the world. But from what I've seen, it does show like a clip of like the initial invasion or
Okay.
like whatever it is.
Well, it was day one.
Yeah, and then
well, yeah, the third movie is the prequel.
Is that the prequel?
yeah, that's gonna
Okay.
be the prequel.
All right.
Where I guess they show the first thing, but like the sequel to this one shows like a clip or something. I don't
Well,
know.
I said at the end she racks that shotgun, and
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
they need like just a, it's dark, and then the shotgun flash lights up, her shooting another one, and then from a different angle, they just needed one of those flash montages.
That
We're
would've been
killing
sick.
like 6 of them.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
how the second one
That's how-
starts.
that's
None of
how it
us
should
have seen the
start.
second one at this point, so tell us how wrong we are in the comments.
It turns into like John Wick. She's fucking like turning corners.
That's what I
blapping
mean. Like
aliens.
those quick flashes
She picks up a
to different parts of the
dagger and
house.
starts, like,
blasting them.
Yeah, she's fucking chucking knives.
ninja stars.
Oh, that would be great. So A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
It was funny. It was silent to the point of funny, but it didn't get like ridiculous. Towards the end of the film, they started talking and stuff like that. It's like, thank goodness.
Oh, thank God.
But they really, they give you a good dose of like no dialogue in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Like everything's told through the sign language in the beginning, and like they're not even like whispering
Mm-mm.
under their sign language like they do kind of later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's like an interesting way to like start your movie because you're almost in the middle of it.
Yep.
Because like they start you on day 89 and you just pick up with this family going through like a drugstore picking up supplies. Like you can kind of tell the one son is maybe feeling a little sick.
Yeah, she gets him some pills or whatever.
Yeah. And then you're slowly kind of meeting the family. Like the dad's walking around gathering supplies. The kids are playing with toys because they're dumb.
Because they're dumb. So at this point, since I'd never seen it, I wasn't sure if the girl was part of their group or whatever.
Oh,
'cause
right.
You see them individually,
Yeah.
and then you see her like walk by in the background or something. I'm
Mm.
like, do they know she's there?
Is she the
Is she
silent killer?
is she supposed to be there? Are they meeting someone? It's like, I hate opening scenes that it's like, here's a character and here's who they find and they're going on a journey together.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah, no, they really keep it in the family.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
only one other moment where you see another human.
Yeah, seriously. And then everything else is just
And
pure
even that
family.
wasn't a good time either.
Yeah, no, that was a horrible time. I don't like that.
This movie is pretty much a bad time from start to
From
finish.
start
It's kind of terrible.
Not a lot of good things happen to them.
Yeah. No
No,
family dinners or picnics.
One dance and 3 hugs.
And
everything
I
else-
love you. There's
Right.
an I love you.
I've always loved
I've
you.
always loved you.
Shut up.
Shut up and just die like a man.
Just die like a man.
Just
Gee
scream.
whiz.
That's the first time he said "I love you" to your daughter, isn't it?
It's kind of rough.
It took him dying to say I love you to his daughter.
And he was still unhappy. Those were his last words.
He's like, fuck, I should have said something more meaningful.
Right.
But yeah, so they're gathering supplies, and the kid grabs this like rocket ship because he wants to fly away from planet Earth. Because Earth
Sure.
sucks now.
Earth's bad.
Yeah, there's
It's not noisy anymore.
yeah.
So he has freaking batteries. Sorry, my microphone
Oh,
cord
no,
got
you're
stuck
good.
to my foot. There are batteries in this thing. The dad takes the batteries out. Why would you ever put the batteries back in this thing?
Well, no, he puts he
Puts
takes
them right
the-
next to
yeah,
it.
he takes the ship and he takes the batteries, puts them at arm's length for a child, and then
Yep.
it's just like, all right, I'm gonna turn my back on you.
And this
Don't
this was
pick this back up.
This was the first time I was like, really?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what we're doing? Because the sister just like, well, here's the thing that's gonna get you killed.
Here you go.
Dad took it away from you, and
Dad
I'm
definitely
old
won't
enough.
blame.
I'm old enough to know this is murdering you.
Yeah.
So
Dad-
here's the batteries.
My mom and dad definitely won't blame me for this later.
Right? It's like that's old enough that that's murder.
Yeah.
Like the kid could have kept the thing without the batteries, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
Sure.
maybe don't give him the batteries.
Yeah, don't give him the batteries.
Right.
And then when the kid gets eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
spoiler
Kid gets
alert.
eaten.
yeah, he puts the batteries in and
And fucking
it
turns
starts
the
making
stupid thing on. Like that kid was old enough to understand
Right.
the rules of this world.
And both of them were.
Darwin was right. It's survival
Right.
of the fittest. My God.
That's why they keep having to have kids, is because they're
Yeah.
all idiots that are like, his fire truck turns on.
Got to replace the stupid ones.
Right.
Here we go until we have a smart society again.
It's like, if you can't get be quiet as a concept, we don't need you. we don't need you here. We'll make more.
yeah, we just kept joking the whole time that the kids are just like weapons because they
Bait.
can just like
Distraction. We need more distractions. I
Yeah.
hope twins.
Say something mean to our son so he goes and cries so we can get out of here.
Right?
we all run away. and
I just need 10
sacrifice
seconds
it.
to myself. Slap.
Yeah,
Throw them out the door.
I think at some point when we saw, in this next part, when you see Emily Blunt's pregnant, I think I was just like, the only reason you should be having a kid is for a distraction so you can get the rest of your family out
Right.
of there.
Who is it? Sacrifice the youngest.
You fucking-
There's a
just
good bit.
fucking punted into the field.
There's a good bit of silly stuff like that in the movie where you're like, why is that going on? That's kind of a bit much.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
whole thing is very serious. There's really not any comedic relief at all.
No
Seriously,
levity.
where they share headphones and it was like 7-second scene.
Yeah.
That was it. Like that was
That
the
like
only
the
normal
only moment of happiness.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
And
the
you're telling
family's,
me you made 89 days before that? If that's a regular day,
Yeah.
you made 89 of them. I don't
Yeah,
think
seriously.
so. I'm not buying it.
Well, they jumped to day like 400 something.
Yeah,
after
470
that.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is they had 37 children on day one.
All of them died except for this one that she's now pregnant with.
Right?
Oh my
They
God.
used to have 8 kids.
They used to have
They're
8
down
kids.
to
Now they're
3.
down to 3.
We're just humber corn farmers.
And one of them's brand new. So they were down to 2 for like 10 minutes.
Oh my God. But yeah, so it picks up with the family. They're still surviving. It's day 470. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I didn't pay
We're
attention.
still in the very quiet portion
Yeah.
of the film.
Everybody's still
It's still really quiet.
Still
Yeah,
really quiet.
we're still in shell shock from our son being ripped apart by an alien.
And I wasn't expecting, like, obviously I knew as soon as he turned that thing on, I'm like, oh, he's getting eaten.
Yeah.
But that was one of the first time we see the monster on screen. And like you said earlier, it was a quick flash.
Yeah, it's just a
And
quick
then
swipe.
We get a couple more quick flashes,
Mhm.
and the evidence of it, like at the neighbor's house or whatever, we see like the dead people in the blood and stuff.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, 1 for 1 for the aliens,
Yeah, they're
I'm
definitely
pretty
winning.
sure they have killed millions at this point.
right?
You can only hope. We have a population problem. We need sound aliens to.
God sent these creatures to fix our population.
There would be a religious fanatic group that was
Yeah.
like, "This is the will of God."
It's like, I knew we were talking too much. He said something to shut
This
us
is the
up.
next coming of Christ.
Even if it is a will of God, we don't have to go feed ourselves to them. We're allowed to survive.
Once a week, we must sacrifice a brethren
It's
to
like-
the sound monsters. This week it's George.
I hope this is what the second movie's about.
Swinging the incense as they pull a lottery for whose child gets sacrificed.
And number 64. Get him before he gets out.
Starts running.
The mom's hysterical. She starts crying, which leads the monsters there. Everybody dies.
Oh my God. Oh, we should write a parody to this.
The camera pulls back. You just see now a bloody incense burner still swinging.
It's hanging from a severed hand. Just-
All right, so we'll be doing A Quiet Place 4.
yeah, a quieter
Call
place.
us.
Oh my God.
Although one nice
Quiet
thing,
world.
I think part of the reason why we're in this mood is because the movie was so quiet.
Oh
we
my-
were just talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, we should have done a commentary to this one.
Oh my
Uh,
God, we were having so much fun. That was great.
If you leave space in your films, we will talk over it.
Yes, if you don't fill it with dialogue like a Tarantino movie we just did,
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking
We're
talk.
gonna
Yeah,
over
I
it.
didn't
talk
really
over your
talk
movie.
much during that one because you had to pay
Yeah.
attention to the
focus.
subtitles.
Well, it was funny. I was just like, yeah, no, this relates to Inglourious Bastards because we had to read subtitles to
Right? The whole
most of
time.
this.
It's like, oh, they're speaking in languages? Well, why not add a movie with sign language? I don't know that one either.
Yeah, I can't speak German, French, or sign language.
I know a little sign language.
I know.
I know enough to offend somebody, probably.
Yeah, here's my middle finger. There's my only sign
they'll get
language I
that.
know.
I could probably piss you off in sign language. That's about it.
We're getting so far away from this freaking movie.
But
Well, yeah, there's not like a whole lot going on.
and it all happens in the house or in the field in front of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the main villains in this movie are obviously the monsters.
Obviously.
And the world government because it failed these people.
The second villain of this movie is the rusty nail in the stairs.
My God, this fucking nail. The whole time we're watching this, anytime they showed that staircase
I was
with
like,
them
oh,
we're like, the nail.
Don't step on it.
And they never fixed it.
They never fixed
They
it.
never
I
fixed
even
it.
warned the alien when it
Right,
was
they-
coming down the stairs.
the
I'm like,
alien.
come on.
Like put a towel over it or something. Jesus
Put a
Christ.
towel over.
Like fold it, roll it up, and
Yeah.
pat it.
My
like,
God.
just do something.
Take something hard and bend it over.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
put
there's no way
anything.
this family lasted 470 days
Put a
with
box
shoddy
over it.
nail work. Why would you
Right?
put a nail in the bottom
like
of
I
your
said,
stair,
it was
pointing up?
Pointing up in the middle of the stair.
Somehow
right on
it
the,
got caught on a sack and bent the nail.
Well, and they have the like footsteps marked or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was right in one of those. So it's like that. How'd that nail get that far up and no one stepped on it yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Nobody else stepped on it. I thought it'd be really hilarious if everybody that went down the stairs after
Well,
that
that's
just kept
we'll put that
stepping.
in the fourth one.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds, fuck. Oh God, I gotta be quiet.
There's
And
just
then like,
nails in their sand paths to the market.
who keeps putting
What if-
Legos in our sand
Put it
path?
right-
Rusty nails.
I said
everywhere.
they've got these sand paths so their footsteps are quieter to town
Yeah.
to and
To the
all kinds of
hardware
trails
store.
around their house and
on
to the
top
wood
of
pile.
gravel where it's
right?
windy.
And I was saying they go through the woods. I was just like, they'd have to clear this of leaves every day. Like every time they would just be moving leaves.
Yeah, he keeps piling sand on top too, and like,
They start burying Legos. It's an April Fool's prank
Right.
every year.
but yeah, like they have a lot of good techniques on being quiet, and then
Yeah.
they
Oh,
have
yeah.
some questionable ones.
Yeah.
Would one of them be locking a baby in a box with an oxygen mask? That's a little.
Little goofy.
One of the things I wanted to say was that I do respect the movie that doesn't really tell you how it happened. It's just
Right.
like
It
join
just
them.
shows you.
Yeah.
Join them.
Like throw us in the middle
Right.
of it, and
So I did
We'll
like that,
adapt.
Mhm.
but there was there obviously there were some questions left unanswered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right.
So I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
That's
they're-
kind of a little bit frustrating, but I know they made 2 other ones.
So
Or
we'll
they're-
have to watch.
So we'll have to watch the
Yeah.
other ones.
Because it's one of those things where if you do want to know more, like if you're just picking up this movie today,
Right.
and like you're like, holy shit, oh man, I want to know where.
good.
Yeah, like there's more content out there where you could, start looking, or at least fill your own brain.
Right.
Like they didn't just leave you hanging, like figure it out, bitch.
Right, because they made it, and then I remember them making another one, and I hadn't seen either one.
Yeah.
And then I just started seeing ads for the one they're making now or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Like-
Yeah, it
might
aired
be all
during
right
the
to
Super
do.
Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I think Cillian Murphy's in the second one. I want to see him.
Okay.
And, like acting.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that one sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. Maybe we'll cycle back if this day one or year
Right.
one
If
is
it turns out good, we might finish the series out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had to be quiet the whole time.
You do have to be
Yeah, one of these we'll just do sign language the whole time.
Right. But it did add weight, like
Oh yeah, definitely.
childbirth, having a baby, kids,
rusty nails.
rusty nails. Like it did add a sense of weight to everyday things.
Yeah.
And
Playing
then-
Monopoly was
and-
dangerous as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, well, they even had the houses and hotels as like little fluff balls.
Yeah.
So like they paid pretty good attention to detail. And
Yeah.
I know I've seen like where the only food that's left in that is like the bags of chips and stuff because
Yeah.
it's crinkly. Like
That
Yeah.
would be funny.
they do
as shit.
stuff like that. I watched something and it said they had, if you look in the background, like loud stuff is still there.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
imagine like all the popcorn would be on the shelves and stuff.
That would be funny
Bunch
as
of
fuck.
popcorn.
It's like, I'm so hungry, but the only thing left is this popcorn. Am I willing to die to eat?
Right. All right.
All right.
I don't think this is gonna cause like any fist fights among us, but
Hold on. Let me cock my fist
right?
real quick just in case.
get my knuckle sandwich ready.
All right. Continue.
It seemed like the alien monster things only reacted to like people and one animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird that it lived in the woods. And
You think it would
it would
constantly
just be chasing deer it would just
Yeah.
be eating deer constantly.
Yeah.
But like you think it would constantly go to like loud places.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would just be by that waterfall the whole time and it wouldn't leave.
Well, I think if it's by a noisy area, it would be harder for it
It's
to
just harder
hunt
for it to
prey.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think it would avoid those areas.
They hunt in a quiet place.
Yeah.
So again,
The forest.
John Krasinski, why didn't you move your family to a nice waterfall side estate?
Right.
And then you could be as
Yeah.
loud as you want when you're having your babies and you're doing your wife and you're repopulating the planet.
I
Right.
think a big plot hole is you really couldn't find anywhere else that was abandoned that you could move to. Like really?
Yeah. Like
I
even
don't
if you just started digging, like you already have the basement, just start digging.
Right.
Like
And that was
Just get
kind
further
of like they
underground.
had a quiet room in the house.
yeah.
But it was just weird. Like I didn't know it was like once they got in the house, I was like, they're just leaving the door open.
Mm.
Yeah,
They-
I don't
like,
even
it's
think
like-
there was a door on it. Like I think they took the doors off. So
Yeah.
like the kids couldn't throw a temper tantrum and like
Or
slam the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those details are cool, but at the same time, like you could make the door quiet,
Yeah.
and then they wouldn't just like wander in.
Yeah.
You could have like, a latch that
Pool noodles exist.
Yeah.
You
And
put
my-
pool noodles on the freaking doors.
My thing is, why wouldn't you just soundproof your house?
yeah.
the whole house.
Like just
egg cartons? Like,
well, there's ways to do it.
Yeah.
You just do the whole house.
Mm.
yeah, egg cartons.
Like you don't get windows and stuff, but
Well, they were doing like paper mache,
yeah, paper mache
on the
yeah.
walls.
yeah.
But
just
they only
sound
did it in their
dampening.
basement. So again, design flaw. Like if you knew you were gonna have the baby up in the bathtub, like maybe soundproof the
It
bathroom.
was over a year later. They should have had the whole house wrapped up.
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Come on, guys.
Like the minute you knew she was pregnant, it's like, okay, we're soundproofing the fuck
Yeah.
out of everything.
Then the
Like,
kid stays in the house till he can prove he can shut up.
Yeah.
Because they took those kids out and they were making noise the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like can you imagine if they set up like, because they're staying in like their barn or something,
Right.
and then they have like their main house, and you think they would set up like the main house as like a complete quiet, like noise isolated room, and then use the barn for like the rest of the family. So like the baby has a perfectly soundproof environment to grow up in. It can scream, it can cry, whatever. The mom can take care of it. And then, you got your other place to stay. that's like underground, like totally fine.
I assume the issue is a lack of resources. They probably don't have unlimited equipment to fully soundproof their entire house.
But it looked like all the other people were dead, so you get all the soft stuff from the neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah, I think the other issue with that is like it would be different if you were a single man trying to live out this situation versus having multiple mouths to feed.
Yeah,
You're
that's
constantly
also
needing to replenish your food and water and just
Although
survive.
I did appreciate the fact that he was fishing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they don't do that a lot. They normally just show the room full of guns,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's it. And
it's
these,
like
Well-
these
that's
types
all
of
they
movies.
stocked up on.
Yeah.
I
was
also
guns.
wonder if there's like not many mammals running around because they're probably getting eaten. So the fish might be the only thing that they can actually hunt for.
Right, because the fish don't make
that's actually
fish don't make
that's
noise,
probably
yeah.
right.
Yeah, good
Mhm.
point. Good point.
Yeah.
Well, one of the raccoons,
Oh, he got fucking
he got
exploded.
blasted.
That thing just karate chopped it. Like he ruined his own meal. He's not going to be able to eat that. That thing's
Yeah.
ruined.
So I guess at this point in the movie, everything's gonna go wrong from
Yeah.
here on out.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
something's got to go wrong.
it gets like halfway, and then it's just like one bad thing after another. Brief hug. Oh, we did it. We survived. Immediate more bad things happen, or to a different part of the family or something.
Yeah, like there's all these little things going on where like he makes a hearing aid
Yeah.
that just like it's like a high pitched, shrieky, squealy sound.
High
Right.
frequency.
And you kind of assume, oh, it's not going to work, whatever, and then that comes up later in the movie.
Like
and
I think like the one knock I could give against it, like, you know, the concept's cool, the story's pretty good, but like it really kind of drags after that first scene with the kid getting killed.
Yeah, and that's the trouble with starting off like that for that type of movie.
Right. Especially when there's no dialogue for us to really grip onto. You don't really get a
Yeah.
personality for the characters because you're just reading their hand signs
I think-
and their, like their facial features.
I think if they'd have taken the everyday life scenes that we saw in the house
Yeah.
and put those before, like if they were doing that house stuff and then go on the trip.
Yeah, and then like
Mhm.
Then
almost like the kid dying is like the middle of the movie, and then
Right.
like, picking it up from
Because
there.
they could have
Yeah.
showed us the family on the way,
Mhm.
Yeah, like
and then
like
the
Emily
scene
Blunt
in
teaching the
in the
kid-
convenience store or whatever,
Yeah.
and then on the way back that still happens.
right.
But I think if they switched that, it could have been like it wouldn't have felt like it nosedived.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
like you know, there's a little bit of drama between the daughter and John Krasinski.
Yeah, but
like
it's
she
just-
thinks he blames her for the son's death, and he's like just shut down.
That's the
because
first
he lost
time-
a son.
Yeah,
This
no one
is-
has ever talked about it until a year and a half
Yeah,
later.
400 and some days later. But it's like, you know, it kind of hits that point where I'm like, all right, I just want to see a monster kill one of you just so there's something happening
something
in the
happening.
movie. But like, you know, they really try and build, you know, the family dynamic, but it's so hard to, like I said, get like a grasp on like their personalities when you don't really hear them.
Mhm.
Like
And then
they're almost like blank slates, and you're just kind of
by the
putting
time you
whatever
hear him,
emotion-
it's pretty much the end of the movie when he
Right.
takes the boy to the
the
waterfall and things like that.
I mean, it also, you know, you kind of have to consider the fact that they're going through a terrible situation and just trying to survive. So there's probably not a lot of emoting happening.
Right?
I
Just
feel
having
like-
so much fun today
Yeah.
with you.
Like, I feel like if it was the three of us, I would be flicking Michael in the balls every now and then just to see if he makes like a peep.
And then
And then you're flicking each other. in the
all I
balls.
can do is just look at him angrily
Just angry dog it.
and then put my finger in my nose. That was one thing that they told me before the movie.
They're like, just watch for John
just watch for
Krasinski.
John
going-
Krasinski shushing everybody.
I should have kept a tally of the amount of times he puts his
and then
finger.
it happened in the first 40 seconds of the
And
film.
we're like, oh, look,
there
he's
it
done
is.
it.
Then it happened like 3 or 4 more times. I'm like, oh, you guys weren't kidding. This is a lot. This is a lot, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's
Hand just
almost
kept on going further and further up.
Yeah, the first one was like, and the second one was like,
It definitely
the last one was like.
had
Yeah.
its own character development.
the more
The
serious
finger.
he got, the higher up the
That's-
finger.
Well, you know, because small sounds are okay, but
Yeah.
big
Big
sounds
sounds
are
bad.
not okay.
Unless bigger sound around.
And he just woo into the waterfall. Kid pees his pants.
Pissed
He thinks he's gonna
himself.
die.
Yeah, so that scene is what separates all of our characters. The dad and son go off to catch their fish.
Yeah.
The little girl is like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to run away. But then she just goes to her youngest brother's
Grave.
memorial
Right.
site.
It was in the grave. They didn't have anything to bury.
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
somehow knew what wires to snip on that rocket ship to get it to light up
I was
but
gonna
not make
say.
noise.
Yeah.
She knew it was the green
She's
wire.
good.
Yeah,
She's
she's good.
She's seen movies.
And she's deaf, so
Sounds-
she couldn't even tell if she clipped the wrong wire.
Right? I was thinking
Gee
that.
Taking your fucking life in your hand.
I was thinking that.
Oh my god.
But this is where the family separates, and that's it.
Mhm.
Of course, we follow John Krasinski and his son coming back, and they get over to the hill where they can see their property, and they have a light system, and it was switched to red.
Yes, so
They know something's wrong and start sprinting.
Yeah, Emily Blunt is going into labor.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just peeing on
Yeah,
the
she-
floor.
yeah.
Goes into labor, starts having contractions, steps on a nail, bleeds all over the place, and
then a monster comes
her
over.
water broke, and their house water broke.
Yeah.
So it
and
just
then
fills
there's a
up,
monster.
and their baby floats away, and there's a monster in the house.
See, this
well,
is
that happens later. But
this
yeah.
is why I'm saying
It's
like
crazy.
this whole beginning part like really drags because like when it gets to the ending,
There's 8 things going on. I just listed.
It does not stop,
Yeah.
and it's almost like you're exhausted at that point. Like after the
Right.
first couple things happen, you're just like, oh my god, I need a breather, but it never
No
stops.
breather.
So you're like, I was able to breathe through the first like
Yeah,
45 minutes of this movie.
We had
and-
a at the first 3 minutes, and then that was it for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, what the heck?
and now it's like, holy shit, just let me catch my breath and figure out where everybody is.
No, Steve. This is a quiet place.
It's quiet.
Not a slowly paced
It's not a
place.
slow place.
It's not a slow place. It's a
not a
quiet
slow-
place.
But this is they also don't. They go from the father and son to the mom
Mm.
to the monster to the mom to the kids, because then the kids get in more trouble, and then it just
Yeah.
kind of swaps
Yeah, they're
around.
fucking
Mhm.
drowning in corn. I didn't know that was possible. That's
Yeah.
kind of metal.
So that's a thing. So in silos and stuff, if there's like an air pocket or it doesn't sit right, it can shift
Mhm.
and act like quicksand. People die in them all the time.
Jeez.
So they have little robots that swish it all around and settle it, and then you can.
Then you can walk on
If
top
you
of
have
it.
to go in there, you can.
Mhm.
Safer. But yeah, it'll kill you.
Can you just like drop a canoe in there, like a little?
No, it would
raft?
It would eat the canoe.
You just go.
Shit.
But that was kind of neat. I guess that's where you see the monster's power for the first time, just being able to jump out of through the metal
fucking
silo
bust
wall.
through.
That was pretty cool. I was like, oh, they're serious.
I just love because like at this point we're seeing that like her hearing aid is like sending off
weapon
these
now,
frequencies.
yeah.
But like Michael is just like, oh shit, she better not do that in the house. They'll have a huge fucking hole through the wall. The monster just busts through.
Kool-Aid Man's out off the property.
Oh yeah.
Smash from their basement out.
Oh my god,
Big-
it just fucking bolted
big
through
hole.
a field.
So at this point, she's kind of like waiting in like that basement filled up with water in a hurry.
Oh my
Well,
god.
The water happens, after John Krasinski already comes back to her.
Oh, he
Yeah.
comes back.
So he
Yeah.
saves her from the bathroom, brings her downstairs to the quiet room.
Yeah, because
Quiet
the
room.
damn baby didn't get the memo to not cry.
Right?
We're trying to be quiet, baby.
Is this
He-
where and they put it in the baby box?
Yeah, so this baby hasn't been fed or nothing. They just stick an oxygen mask on it, shove it in a box, and put a lid on it.
Yep.
And
parenting.
and
Yep.
then the mom, she takes a nap.
Well, as you do after you
And
just
then
gave
there's
birth.
John leaves to go find his other children.
I will find them.
You better. You already lost me one son.
This was where right. This was where she kind of like has a kid. He saves her life. The kid's fine. She wakes up and starts just ragging on him.
You
Yeah.
better,
Like
save
you better protect our children.
You better
must. It's
promise.
like you made it over a year.
Like-
it's no street cred at all.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is a hypothetical, but say there's a monster between you and the kids are in a car, you better scream so the kids can get away.
Yeah. Oh,
Not that that's
Little-
going to
a
happen,
little
but if
foreshadowing
it
from Steve.
Yeah, earlier in the movie, it said something about he sends the boy out to go set off the rockets because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to sacrifice himself.
He's got to be.
Like he has to be around
It's
to
like that
protect his
kid's
family.
probably gonna scream even if he doesn't get the rockets
Right.
off. Maybe he'll scream loud
Yeah,
enough.
but then he ends up sacrificing himself for the greater good. There.
Yeah, poor Krasinski. Dude just got shit on all movie. He was depressed all movie, and then he just dies.
It's too bad.
Yeah, the kids get out of the silo, they meet up, and then I think they could have gotten out of this if they would have just stopped hugging each other and just beelined to the house.
If
Right.
it wasn't an emotional fucking
Yeah, we
connection
did
every
say
time
that.
we ran into a character.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh
you're
my
the only
God.
you're the only people in the movie. Okay.
Just
like,
go.
you
You know
shouldn't be
each
that excited to see each other. Like,
Right.
just
It's
fucking
been
run.
like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
funny.
Yeah, so they don't make it out. They don't all make it out alive. The kids get into the truck. John Krasinski tries to take out one of the monsters. Is unsuccessful.
But see, this is what doesn't make sense. John Krasinski dies, but he made no noise to attract that monster. So why the fuck did the monster know he was there and take a swipe at him? Like, he didn't
you
make
mean when the...
Oh, when he
Yeah,
jumps
But
off
that's
the
not
roof.
when he actually dies, though.
Well, no, but like when he first gets attacked, like the monster swings at him, but he didn't make any noise. He didn't like scream. Like the axe didn't
I
make
think
a
he
noise.
just got in his way.
Yeah, I think he was just like above him and he just happened to
hopped
jump
down and
No, like the thing like takes a swipe at him.
okay. I don't know
Yeah,
because
like,
it's a monster
I
that can
don't-
just hit
well,
stuff.
No, like I mean, it's his right as a monster to
I-
fucking take a swipe at
Or
John
that wasn't
Krasinski.
what he was going after. So just get it out of the way. I want to go
Yeah.
after the other thing.
I will say that the echolocation of
Yeah, the
the
little
monsters
clickies.
is like, it's a little weird because
Yeah.
when the monster's in the basement and he is like feet away,
Yeah.
several feet away from somebody just standing there being still and quiet, don't you think you'd still be able to like hear the sound
Like, you think it
bouncing
would-
off of them? And like, I don't know
Well,
if they have any sort of like heat.
They knocked a picture over
Right.
in the house and it was
Yeah.
able to hear that. Or,
Right.
you know, and they were worried
So
about
you think
that.
like
you're
just
like,
you breathing, they'd be able to hear you.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, everybody would have died on the trail then, but yeah, it's kind of weird. You're like, okay, so the high frequency hurts it to the point of you can shoot it with a shotgun,
Yeah.
and then you know it can hear something far away, quiet, but when it's in the room,
Yeah.
It's like a little, yeah. So
by,
like
by
those,
by that, I think it should be able to hear the heart beating.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I feel like it definitely would be able to tell if someone's standing right in front of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Krasinski does sacrifice himself.
Yeah, he
by
gets fly
screaming.
swatted.
and then the girl learns she's a superhero
Yeah.
with her
Yeah.
cochlear implant.
Mm-hmm.
And turns it up to 11 and rips the knob off.
Yeah, she kind of goes back into this basement that she wasn't supposed to be in because he had all of his information about the creatures there, and
Even though the daughter probably could have pieced together what he wrote on that
Yeah.
whiteboard. Like,
That was kind of weird. Like, you're not allowed
Respond-
down there. It's like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
yeah, like the only thing he has written on this whiteboard is
Weakness.
responds to sound, needs soundproofing and medical supplies.
That's how they
What?
survive. That's under the tagline survive.
Yeah.
Medical supplies and soundproofing. That's it.
And then it's like, what is weakness?
what is
Question
their
mark,
motive?
And then when she realizes what it's doing, she looks at the weakness. And then you
Yeah.
see it click, and then she turns it on, looks at it again. You're like,
And she-
oh.
Yeah.
If only they would have given her a bad, like, fucking one-liner from an action movie. Like, you just got fucking heard, bitch. And, like, puts the hearing aid up to the speaker.
Oh jeez, put that in the part 4.
Yeah, that'll be a
we'll
part
put that
four.
one in the fourth
parody
one.
one.
And
it was
then,
good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so blast
the-
the one in the face with a
Takes
shotgun.
the armor away, and 12 gauge is hitting the mouth.
Yeah. And then also on that board, he has confirmed 3 in the area. So once she shoots the shotgun, you see the other 2
The
come
other
running.
two come running in.
And the girl cranks the knob up to 11 and gets ready. And Emily Blunt cocks her shotgun.
She
like
racks
a
the
fucking,
shotgun.
She looks like Sarah Connor in this moment.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be the gun weirdo for a
Okay.
second.
Bring it on.
Why a pump shotgun? That's the loudest to load. It's the loudest to rechamber. It's like you would want
Not
a long
even
tube semi.
Something with a silencer, maybe.
No, yeah, well,
That's
I mean
why
it would help, but
well, it's like I love that scene earlier when like all the attack is going down and John Krasinski just like you just see his hands under a blanket. He moves the blanket and he's got the shotgun.
Yeah,
Right?
because he's
You're like
loading it under a blanket like that's gonna
Like that's really gonna dampen
dampen
the
the
sound
noise.
that much.
Also, why is your shotgun unloaded?
Yeah, it should have been loaded day one, and then
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
you'd
keep
have
it
it for
loaded.
emergencies.
Yep.
My God,
But that was just weird. I'm like, oh, a pump. So the loudest mechanical shotgun to
Yeah.
exist for rechambering. All right, got it.
like you couldn't even
yeah.
load that quietly if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you're
think with
loading it
a-
with cotton.
With a semi-automatic, it's like the rechambering happens while it's still loud from the gun going off.
Yeah.
And then the delay. I understand it's a movie, all right? But if you're waiting a full minute to put another shell in and you know they're coming, that's irresponsible.
You got kids in that basement,
right?
man.
It's the gun goes off, you chamber another round immediately before you do anything.
And then you can be all sneaky.
And then you can be sneaky. But you got whatever.
You got an instant reload. Let's
Right?
go.
You
Come on.
hello.
Well, I guess John Krasinski isn't really a gun nerd.
Yeah.
Especially because he's dead.
He's only a paper nerd.
Especially because he's dead. Because he yelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weak.
So, spoilers, he's not in the second
He's
one.
Not in the second one.
He's
Emily
dead.
Blunt and the two kids are. I don't know if the baby's in the second one. So
I don't
maybe something
know.
happens to the baby.
I think in
Just
the picture that came up on...
Oh, is she holding the
yeah, she
baby?
was holding
Okay.
the little baby.
reminds me of a blooper from Rush Hour. He gonna be Rush Hour 3.
He couldn't be in Rush Hour 3.
He like
Oh
falls out
my
a window or
God.
something.
But yeah, that is a quiet
A
place.
quiet place.
It was quiet. It was a place. And
Interesting concept. I think they executed this concept pretty well.
Yeah.
I know we've been kind of having some fun with this, but they executed what they, the
like-
mechanic of be quiet pretty decent.
Like, don't let us making fun of it
right.
sway you
It's
from
still,
going
it's
to
still,
watch.
it's still a good it's still
Yeah.
a good movie.
Especially
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it. Like, watch it with a group of people. And, like, if they haven't seen it and the concept with being quiet, like, people are going to want to be quiet while watching this.
Oh, yeah. I
like-
will say this is a great movie to watch with people who are squeamish with horror stuff because it's a
Yes.
lot of suspense.
They'll be squirming and you
It's
can
a
hear
lot
it.
of suspense. Like, for us, we're like, yeah, whatever. The suspense is like... it doesn't even feel suspenseful to me.
Right.
But to some people,
we know
they're
it's
gonna
there,
be like,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Squirming, but you gotta
Yeah.
be quiet.
Like, your
yeah,
buddy
yeah,
will
yeah.
fart and you'll have to slap him to shut him up.
Well, from all of us here at Every Film of the Book. Stupid.
Everybody shut up.
So stupid.
You got to say goodbye really quiet. You ready? Goodbye.
And then I don't think we can play the outro music then.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
This is
The
gonna be
episode's just going to cut the...
just
what if it just goes out to like a... like dog whistle?
put in something real annoying.
Oh, my God.